Hello again, everyone. Mark Hackle, Macomb County Executive, Deputy Executive J.P. Rea. Just kind of give you quick little updates on some of the things that are going on. I know this is interesting, but the health department had to deal with some new reporting formulas, I guess, or requirements on behalf of the state, and it kind of got off the rails. I think there was some controversy, specifically with the media, looking at the numbers and trying to compare. And it was interesting. Even the state is saying, don't compare. The best thing we want to offer people is to go to their websites of their school districts, parents, and find out what's happening in your schools. Because I got to tell you, here in Macomb County, our school districts are doing an incredible job of working through this pandemic, have been from the onset. And this impression that they're not masking or because the health department didn't require it, there's some school districts that have decided that's what they wanted to do, and we let them make that decision because they wanted to make that decision. Others are working through this pandemic and looking at their numbers to try to make a determination what they do. So some of them are requiring it in some schools, some classrooms. So they've been managing this with parents as well as their school boards throughout this pandemic and done an incredible job. And I think the last series of numbers that came in kind of showed Macomb County has been doing a phenomenal job of working with their school districts and the health department to manage this crisis. So again, I know there's some out there that want to continue to use the numbers, and I think to vilify. Sometimes they want to use it to kind of push their agenda or their message. But the reality is in Macomb County, we're continuing to work with our schools, and they're doing a fantastic job of trying to keep our kids safe. So credit to our administrators, the superintendents, the ISD, as well as the school boards for continuing to monitor it with our health department.
Mark, it's been an interesting couple weeks as we're getting new frameworks and standard from the DHHS, also from those in the epidemiology community with regards to different frameworks with reporting, clusters, outbreaks, case counts in each one of the 21 districts across the county. And as we continue to track this information with our school partners, as they continue to do active contact tracing to ensure that our classrooms are as safe as possible, we believe that our model is not only working, but it's responding. It brings all those mitigation efforts to the table. And as you said, Mark, those districts, when they see an increase of cases or when they have a concern with regards to classroom safety, they integrate those safety methods to the standard that they believe is safest for their community and the children in those classrooms. I think with this dynamic way for us to respond to the COVID challenges that happen throughout our community with high transmission rates that folks talk about, across Southeast Michigan, across the state of Michigan, and across the country. These are ever-present challenges. We have all the tools in front of us. And Mark, as you said, the foundation is the exceptional working relationship we've had with the ISD and the schools. I would put that relationship against any other municipal government, against any other conglomerate of school partners, and we're going to continue to remain committed to supporting them.
Yeah, and again, I think we're managing through this crisis and realizing, what, we've got to deal with it. It is here, it's a challenge, but again, 2 years into it, for all practical purposes, we've been able to do just that. So credit to the schools once again. Getting beyond that, interesting, some unique things that are happening. I think you're seeing a lot of construction everywhere you go. There seems to be construction barrels, and it's a good thing. I know people tend to hope that if they're going to fix a road, they want it fixed the very next day. But the reality is, whether it's a road, a bridge, they're putting in some kind of a new roundabout. It takes a while to do that. And credit to these construction crews; they're doing a pretty good job because most of them are being completed not only under budget but on time or even ahead of schedule. So we're fortunate. But one that was just mentioned, and I think a lot of people are going to be seeing more of this, was a project we're working on with the Great Lakes Water Authority in conjunction with Shelby Township. In fact, even working with Oakland County, the partnership that we have with Oakland County and the Department of Roads in Oakland County, as well as Macomb County's Department of Roads. Boy, I tell you, this is going to be a major project here in Macomb County and Oakland County, right on DeQuinder Road and 23 Mallard. If you've been by Yates Cider Mill, you know how that traffic congestion can be a problem. Well, they're trying to figure out how do they get a freshwater line, a new one, and they're getting ahead of it so that they're not waiting for something to fail. So credit to the Great Lakes Water Authority for doing this. In light of the project that they're putting together, they realize, okay, if we're going to be tearing up the underground, let's fix this above ground problem that we have here with the roadway itself and the bridge in and around that area. So 2 roundabouts are going to go in place there, and pretty significant roundabouts. And I think that becomes the way forward, as people like these roundabouts. They're getting used to the roundabouts. I am a big fan of roundabouts. And so with that being said, they're going to be divided up into 2 different segments. You'll see that obviously there's going to be a construction period that's taking place on 2 different time periods. One is going to be starting this year and one will be starting next year. So the one roundabout will be taking place, that major one, is going to be the Oakland County side. It's just the other side, or I should say west of Yates Cider Mill. And there's a lot of work being done on that bridge as well as the roundabout. And then the following year, they're going to work on the other project that's going to be pretty much on the, I guess, if you will, eastern portion of Yates Cider Mill. So I think it's going to be a great advantage for people getting in and around that area. If you've ever been by there, I've been by there many a time.
Yeah.
It can be a challenge, but I got to tell you, great design, great work, and credit to all that are participating in this to try to make that change.
Mark, you've been talking about advancing infrastructure here in Macomb County, and I think what's happening specifically with this Great Lakes Water Authority project on this new 96-inch water main that's going to go from Port Huron all the way through St. Clair County, coming into Macomb County, then over to Oakland County, is we're focusing on that freshwater component, safe, fresh drinking water with our partner in Great Lakes Water Authority. But then we bring in the Department of Roads, then we bring in the road enhancements, then we look at the safety elements, then we bring in supporting all those institutions that are on there like Yates and stuff like that, and getting rid of some of those traffic snarls that happen at those high volume areas. This is a transformative project that is on the books. This is going to give us opportunities to retrofit elements of our non-motorized trail network with the Macomb Orchard Trail. We're going to look at road crossings, all these different types of things that are ensure that we can put this new pipe in, we can ensure the highest standard with regards to safe drinking water, and we can also fix some deficiencies in the transportation network too.
So there will be some disruptions, I mean, over the next couple of years in and around that area, so be patient, be tolerant. With any road project that's going on anywhere, not only in Macomb County, but anywhere throughout the state or southeast Michigan, be patient, be tolerant. We're trying to get through that, but there's going to be more money coming to fix some of the other road projects and problems in and around the area. You can go to macombgov.org, click on our website, and understand the whole mapping system that we have for Department of Roads responsibility of roadways in Macomb County. We've identified all the roads, the bridges. We're waiting for more funding to help. Year by year, we get an allotment to figure out what we're going to be fixing and how we're going to fix it. There's detailed information on that website to give you an idea of where we're going to be at. So again, a lot of good things happening when it comes to advancing infrastructure here in Macomb County. We're excited about it, and we're trying to get ahead of it. And with that being said, rather than waiting for something to break, we're seeing that even with Candace Miller and Public Works.
Yeah.
They're getting ahead of these projects, much like that sinkhole we saw on 15 Mile Road. Nobody wants to see that again, so they're trying to figure out how they start repairing, how do they line, how do they make sure if they got to take something out because they see the deterioration. So they're doing an asset management of all those areas dealing with our underground from Public Works, from Candace Miller's office, and aligning it with what we're doing on road projects, making sure that if we're going to be tearing out a road, let's fix the underground at the same time. So we're not kind of coming back a year or 2 years later and kind of going over that same piece or stretch of roadway, and now it's costing taxpayers more money. So great working relationship we have, and that partnership to try to figure out how we're doing, much like this project is going to demonstrate.
Mark, the value add, the preventative maintenance, the cost saving that it brings to all these major projects, and what Candace is doing there along 15 Mile Road, what Brian and the team at Department of Roads are doing with our asset management program, these are proactive steps that we're taking to ensure that our infrastructure assets last longer, are safer, and more efficient across the community, and it's paying some incredible dividends to the county.
Yeah, and we got some interesting things. We talked about Yates Cider Mill, but it's that time of year. I mean, I think mentioning Yates Cider Mill, in fact, while we were out there doing this press conference, we did have to stop by and indulge in some of the
Can neither confirm nor deny how many donuts I ate, Mark.
We did stop by and had a few. But it's interesting because, that's that time of year. I think we all love this time of year for, the fall colors. And so we always put together this program, Macomb County, to get people interested in getting them back out to our cider mills in and around Macomb County. And it's that fall in love with Macomb. So the program is at Macomb, actually MakeMacombYourHome.com. Go to MakeMacombYourHome.com, log on or click onto that icon that talks about, fall in love with Macomb, and you're going to find out a lot of, interesting information about where these cider mills are and things that are happening in and around your area. But get out there and enjoy our cider mills here in Macomb County.
Mark, those agritourism assets that we have across the county, whether it's some of the major destinations like the Blakes and the Westviews, whether it's some of, the smaller outposts like Varellans and stuff like that, it's fascinating around this time of year how everyone has really strong opinions what their favorite cider is, what their favorite donut is, what their favorite treat is, who's got the best caramel apples and everything. But the thing that's great to see is it's great, safe, family, fun experiences that we have throughout the county, and it leads to just incredible memories and connect people to the community.
Yeah, and it's more than just a cider mill.
Oh, yeah.
You get there, there's things to do, there's activities to partake in. And so with that being said, we're very fortunate that agritourism, if you will, it's not just something, it's kind of destination location.
Oh,
now,
absolutely.
Not just to get cider. So again, take a look. Go to Macomb, actually MakeMacombYourHome.com and log on or click onto that icon. You're going to get a tremendous amount of information. Another thing we've got going is this green Macomb. We're trying to figure out how do we get more trees planted. We're very fortunate. I mean, Second Nature's brand, they came out to Armada in light of the fact they had that tornado this past year. The challenges that they had with that were basically a lot of trees that were damaged and taken out or uprooted. And so with that, we partnered with them, our planning department. Credit to Jerry Santora and his connections over there. They came out and helped us plant nearly 100 trees in and around that area. So we got out there and planted some trees. But that's going to be happening again. I think Friday we're going to be doing something with Candace Miller, Public Works, around the spillway area. They're going to be planting some trees over there, and that's going to be, I believe, the zoo is
Zoological
partner in that.
Society, absolutely, Mark.
Is going to
yeah.
be a partner in planting those trees, and then the week after we're going to be doing some more trees, I think, up in the Armada area again. So actually we've got a lot going on here in Macomb County when it comes to regreening Macomb, and we're very fortunate to have that partnership to do just that.
Mark, an exceptional program that was created by our planning department, the amount of resources we've gotten from our federal partners, now having some of those corporate partners step up like Second Nature Foods has been incredibly refreshing to see how we're looking at our green footprint, understanding how we expand those natural areas and assets around the community, and stabilizing some of those areas that have been hardest hit, whether it's by a weather event or something like that magnitude. It's been great. I think it's an excellent way to connect with the community, and it spruces things up a bit too.
Oh, I see what you did there. Nice pun. That was good. That was good. And speaking about good, at the end of this, we're going to kind of segue to a clip, Channel 4. Nick Monticelli did a great story on some kids at Romeo schools during the homecoming. You got to see this. This is a tearjerker, so grab yourself a box of tissue and prepare for this. Boy, I tell you, not only the schools are challenged, but dealing with it, the kids are just going through the motions, making things happen. This was an absolute feel-good story of the month, maybe even the year. We'll see at the end of the year whether it was or not. But it was a pretty good thing that I think everybody needed to see this, and it's going to make you feel good. So with that being said, we want to continue to remind everybody to keep them and their families safe in the midst of all this. But as I mentioned, stay with us for a second here, and you got to see this story.
You hear a lot of negativity, unfortunately, sometimes about young people, and there's a whole school of them that are just really incredible individuals doing great things for one another.
So there's a lot of us who look back on our high school days and have some pretty fond memories, but rarely are those memories life-defining moments.
But last week was an exception at Romeo High School, and as Nick Monticelli shows us, it took a lot of students and the whole community really to make a dream come true for one special student.
Carson, what lesson are you on?
I'm on lesson 3.
When somebody has an outgoing personality, it is often said they can light up a room.
What?
9, Mr. Butler.
But at Romeo High School, it's not just a room. Carson Krozik lights up the entire building. So it really is no surprise that at this year's homecoming game,
Carson Krozik.
Carson was voted homecoming king. But you don't know the entire story. This was a surprise to many, and a planned celebration to even more.
One day when I was just walking the hallway, I decided, why not make my year out go out with a bang?
Carson has autism, and this is his senior year. The past 2 years have been plagued with, in Carson's words, the C word. He didn't want to say COVID on TV.
I was worried that my whole 12th grade year was going to be me sitting at home, looking at a camera, and I didn't want that. I wanted to go out with a bang.
Clearly, he wants to go out with a bang, and he has been begging, pleading to do that by being the Romeo Bulldog at the games. Finally, he got his shot.
Guess who's going to be the Bulldog at Romeo High School football games?
I got the job, Jay? I'm so happy, Daddy.
Carson was the happiest he has ever been. That is, until he asked a girl to the homecoming dance.
When he first asked me to homecoming, I was just like, I was so honored, and I knew that I had to make it something very special for him.
Ari Kristevsky is another senior at Romeo High and had zero hesitation.
Absolutely not, no. Because he just like everyone else, he's amazing. He's like always happy, so kind.
Ari said she had to make it very special, so they ran for homecoming king and queen. She thought just getting on the court would be a great experience. She made one social media post.
And it just started blowing up. We had teachers reposting, students, parents from the community.
Within a week, it seemed the entire school, 400 seniors and 1,500 students in all, had made up their mind. Then, as homecoming week went on, his parents realized it was the entire town.
Everywhere we go, somebody knows him, and he knows somebody, and he's hugging them, and we've never met them before. I mean, we can't go anywhere without him just having made an impact on somebody's life.
And so this was their turn to make an impact on his.
Before they even started, my friends were saying, Carson, Carson.
Carson Krozik.
I just felt really, really happy that everybody else was happy.
He was just so happy, like the emotions that day, that Friday night, like it brought tears to my eyes. I didn't think I was going to, but I started crying.
You don't expect that from a group of, 18-year-olds and younger, that they're going to view your son the way that you do or adults do.
Acknowledgement from a community or even just fans in a football stands cheering for you have been things that haven't happened for him. So it's tremendous that we can celebrate him and he can have his moment.
And no matter what someone's going through or what their background is, you should not treat them any different than how you treat anyone else, because everyone is the same.
You guys are my best friends in the whole wide world. I couldn't ask for any more friends.
And Carson, we are happy to call you a friend as well. Yeah, I was holding back tears during the interviews as well. A few things to note here. I'm pretty sure most of the town of Romeo is watching right now, so I'm hoping you recognize how big of a deal this is for Carson, for his family, for all the students. You should be very, very proud. And Evra and Rhonda, a huge shout out to Ari as well for seeing this opportunity and running with it for a boy like that. And even notice Carson, he even said how happy he was that everybody else was happy.
I know.
It wasn't about him, it was still about his friends.
Yeah,
He
you
just
got
has a
everybody
huge
holding their
heart.
tears here.
Oh my gosh, we were all welling up
Yeah.
here. Just a beautiful story, Nick.